Well, I'm back to the secret life force of green plants, I think. They're growing, they're not growing well, but it's a start, you know what I mean? I think the idea is to, you want to try and exclude the cyanophyta. So they only started growing once the cyanophyta started growing on the surface of the soil. But I think the idea is to try and impose the cyanophyta. I think you've got to form, with the iron, I think you're going to have to form a form of valerite, you see. So I think you've got to have a form of valerite that impedes or opposes the growth of the cyanophyta. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, setting up an experiment to see if I can create a formula that has iron in the valerite form, that's in a form that's opposed to growing the cyanophyta. I think that's how you get the moss and you get the liverworts to grow. I think that's just my working theory idea at the moment. I think that's what it is. I don't know whether the cyanophyta are like the piranhas in the soil, or it encourages the nematodes to grow because the nematodes live on the cyanophyta. So therefore you've got this combination of like little micro worm piranhas in the soil living off the cyanophyta, but also, you know, chewing away at the roots, you know, the fine root hairs at the same time. And of course, if you've got no basic root hair system, you can't get any ensheathment. You can't get a mycorrhizal association occurring. Anyway, having said that, I put my flooded cereals out in the sun. The only one I expect to do well is the control. The others will, they might just survive and carry on. I've got it on spot culling, but you can see in the aluminium one, it's nice and red in the centre there. And I didn't notice that seedling survived. I didn't expect that. And having a little trouble with central growth on the manganese one there, the pink one, and the combo, that's got a bit of trouble too in the centre. So it's struggling to put out new growth. It got a little bit of dieback. We had like a frosty night sort of thing. Got really close to naught, I think almost on naught, and it sort of, the tip died off. But it's struggling. That's the combo. That's aluminium and manganese together. But the control one. So the idea is whitewood doesn't interact with the iron to form iron oxysulfide. I don't think you want iron oxysulfide in the soil as iron oxysulfide. You want a form of valerite. But then, as I said, you've got problems with the valerite. If it's probably not in the right form, you're going to have all this cyanophyta thing, which we thought was a good thing, but I think it's a negative. I think it's like putting, not offal in the water, it's like putting chum in the water. You're going to encourage all the nematodes to, become very hungry, build up in numbers, and not only will they eat the cyanophyta, I think, they will also go for your plant roots and things like that. So I think you need to have a form that doesn't form iron oxysulfide in the soil. So you can avoid that, as I said, by using a whitewood. Unfortunately, the other thing is newspapers say there's, as I learnt from my mum, she's worked in some of these industries in years gone past. She said they're very rag rich or cotton rag rich, like newspaper and things like that. They use a lot of cotton rag in the making of the newspaper fibres. And of course, as we know, cotton wool has the gamma bond, doesn't want to degrade, so you've got a problem there. So one, the iron won't react with it to form the oxysulfide, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, it just doesn't break down very well, and therefore you've got no sugars coming into the system, and fungi like sugars, you see. So if you want a nice mycorrhizal relationship, you want some sugars there. So even though it breaks down slowly, you do want some slow breakdown, you see. So I had a brainwave the other night. I'll just take you over this other thing. Is why don't I try balsa wood? Because balsa wood is a hard whitewood. Because strictly speaking, it's a hard Anyway, I've moved things around, as you can probably see, and I'm setting up one here, which I'll probably just show you shortly. I'm just going to crush these ones here. Let's get back to normal focus, I think. Now, usually I like about half a litre or 500 mils on the top here. Now, by our rule, these crush down to 1/4 their size, and each one of these basically the size of a 2.4 litre milk bottle. So instead of crushing down 4, I want to crush down sort of. That one's got a lot of water in it. Yeah. I want to crush down, if I can. Maybe that's not the best. Maybe it has to be just damp, not wet. Oh well, we learn something new every day. How easy are they? No, I don't think that's gonna work too well, fellas. I think I'm gonna have to do this again with some dry bricks, I think. Okay, I'll shut the camera off there and I'll show you my balsa wood in the next clip, sort of thing. But anyway, over and out for now.